Here is Dr. Ken Harris.
I'm just in here dancing, ain't nobody paying attention. Terrible. Can you raise your seat up so I can see you? Excuse me, Frederica Flintstone, unless you change the jewels. Woo, that was a good one. That was a good one. Now, did you say that over the air or did you say that in my ear? Over the air? Okay, good. Why is that not funny? So, hi, Rhea. How are you? Got to say hello before I get in trouble. So, I asked Rhea to raise her seat because I can't see over her. I would have to sit like up here to see her, right? Which actually I can do because I'm taller than her. Okay. I give. You go back to your original. I just move my seat up, and now we're good. Is that okay? So your feet can touch the floor. So her feet don't touch the floor. Oh, I tell you. And it went south from there, and I said, I'm not saying that on the air. I'm going to get myself. I don't think I'd ever get canceled, though. Like I care. Jimmy Crack Corn. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Do you even remember that song? Nobody sung that song to you when you were in school, did they? You don't even know what that is, do you? You do not. You're a millennial. You have no idea what that is. Oh, see how she rolled her eyes? Just like a millennial. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I tell you. Well, you do understand that life is changing, right? That the world is changing. Today, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers signed the reckless driving bill into law. And once again, we're doing the same thing. First it's too hot, then it's too cold, then it's too hot, then it's too cold, now it's too hot. In a few minutes, it'll be too cold. So, like I said, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers signed the reckless driving bill into law today. A driver's first reckless driving ticket will go from $200 to $400. So now it's $400. Second subsequent fine will go from $500 to $1,000. So you'll basically go from $400 fine to $1,000 fine. Evers signed two bills. This is from TMJ4.com. Into law at the Grace Lutheran Evangelical Church in Milwaukee this afternoon. Assembly Bill 55 increases penalties for reckless driving, while Senate Bill 76 reorganizes crimes known as carjacking and ramps up the penalties. That happens to be the same church where Milwaukee pastor Aaron Strong used to help lead before a reckless driver hit and killed him. His wife, Abby Strong, has been the face of the campaign to increase penalties for reckless driving in Milwaukee and across the state. So here it is. Things you need to consider today. Number one, Assembly Bill 55. I should say A. Assembly Bill 55 increases the penalties for reckless driving, requires that the driver improvement surcharge and safe ride surcharge are imposed on anybody convicted of reckless driving. So if you get convicted multiple times, you pay the surcharges for driver improvement and safe ride surcharge every single time. Bill number 76. B. It's not a reckless driving bill. It reorganizes the crimes of intentionally taking a vehicle without owner's consent, creates a new carjacking section of the criminal code, and increases certain penalties related to carjacking crimes. Remember that woman in Wauwatosa from Oshkosh had her car carjacked. She was down here visiting at a conference. Somebody stole her car when she went out to her car 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they ran her over and killed her. and drove away. Those same teens were found in Milwaukee sitting in the stolen car. Well, Governor Evers said today, I'm proud of the enactment bill of my second term aimed at curbing reckless driving. And I'm glad to be continuing that work today by signing these bills to address carjacking and ensure reckless driving is treated with the seriousness it requires. Now, you got to remember, today's bill comes after Governor Evers signed into law another reckless driving bill, which is something people forgot about back in April. That's when he signed the 2023 Wisconsin Act 1. Now, listen close. That legislation allows counties and municipalities, Milwaukee County and any municipality in Milwaukee County, to enact ordinances allowing law enforcement to impound the vehicle, tow it, if its owner is cited for reckless driving. Listen to what I'm saying. Not convicted. Cited. If you get a ticket written for you for reckless driving, the cities and the counties in Wisconsin now can enact ordinances by a simple vote of the city council, men and women, of the county supervisors, and it's done. Impound your vehicle if you're cited, and you got to pay fees on top of that. If you're convicted, first one goes from 200 to 400. The second one goes from 500 to 1,000. You have to have a prior conviction for reckless driving. So here's how it goes. I'm driving. I get a ticket for reckless driving. I go to court. I'm convicted. That's my city citation. I'm driving again, reckless driving. I get a ticket. That's my second subsequent offense, right? So now it's $1,000. The first one was $400. Now it's $1,000, so that's $1,400. Why? Because the first one that I got convicted on, I have to have not paid the fine. So if I get stopped for reckless driving, get a ticket, found guilty, now I owe $400 plus court costs, and then I'm stopped again for reckless driving, and I get a ticket for $1,000, and I haven't paid the first ticket, guess what? We're taking your car. We as in the city. So, 4 things you need to remember from this particular bill. From these 2 bills, actually. Assembly Bill 55 and Senate Bill 76. Number 1, don't cry when your car's taken because you or your kid were driving stupid. Don't cry. Number 2, don't get mad when you have to pay multiple $1,000 fines, including the initial $400 fine, and then court costs. Why? Because you or your kid was driving stupid. Number 3, don't blow a gasket when you get fired, right? Because you got fined, you don't have a car, because your car got taken at the same time. I'm just saying. But then lastly, when you have to ask yourself, do I want them to take my money or do I want them to take my car? You don't even have to worry about it. With these 2 bills, they're taking both.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee's favorite station.
I love what you're doing, and this radio station is just like what it's called. It's the truth.
The best way to start your day.
Got a little thirsty there.
Even when I'm thirsty, I'm not going to front. Like, my mouth is salivating, but it's fine. I'm going to wait for an appropriate moment to get my name. That was not it.
Doubling down on policing of certain neighborhoods and certain communities, not because Black people are more prone toward criminality. Criminality in America has always been owned by white people.
Listen to The Truth on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
I feel like I've seen these people before.
I think you